Ryan, we gotta discuss it. This has been a work in progress. This meeting is right now. I mean, it's been since January.
I know.
Since
But
January.
this is the perfect time, because if we did it in January, people would be like, what? Like, it's random. But now at least I have music out.
Right.
So it's way better this way, except for the fact that we would have been friends earlier and have already, connected in a better way by having a conversation. So I regret that. But the time is great. Here we are in the here and now, this many months later, enjoying each other's company. Who would have thought? Who'd have thunk?
I wouldn't have. And this is November, so this has been a work in progress right here. Woo. But I'm glad that we're finally doing it. It's a long time coming, and I'm glad to have you on, man. Seriously, thanks
for having me.
This is going to be a good one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so before we started recording, I was telling you about my venture out.
So you interviewed Ben recently.
Ben Schwab, what's up?
Ben, shout out Ben, incredible music, and you were saying that
listen to it.
Yeah, insane.
Got it. Yeah.
And the crazy, another crazy, just before we get on your story, a crazy connection with Sylvie is with Ben is that besides Sam Burton playing on that project, who I adore as a human being and a songwriter, also covered a bunch of Ian Matthews tunes, which is kind of wild because before Ian Matthews, you'd have to get to Fairport Convention. And Fairport Convention is relatively challenging music. It's like very, very like old English type of shit. But so I don't really fuck with Fairport Convention, but I love Sandy Denny's solo stuff and Ian Matthews solo stuff. So much to the point that Ian Matthews became like, when Ian Matthews tours, he plays like golf courses and like casino, like and 20 people come and they don't know who he is. But this dude's like a legend to me. I went and saw him at a literal golf course and like had him sign a record from 71. He was like, I don't even like this one. It was amazing. Anyway, so I didn't even know that people fucked with Ian Matthews. And all of a sudden Sylvie comes out and their first like 3 tracks are all Ian Matthews covers. And I'm like, whoa. Like that is such a heady decision to be like, I'm gonna start a new band, we're gonna cover Ian Matthews. Because like, to cover a song is a choice to not spend time on your original music and to study that songwriter and like dive into that craft. And I just appreciate that so much, that he appreciates Ian Matthews so much. So anyway, I don't know him super personally, but big fan of Ian Matthews too. So I just had to get that out, which is just wild.
It's a good jumping off point for sure. Yeah.
Holy shit.
But anyways, this is the eve of Halloween that me and my buddy Ralphie
around Beverly Hills.
Yeah. I mentioned often on here. He doesn't listen to the podcast. But that's fine. I hope eventually he'll listen to the podcast and he'll realize
to each his own,
right,
to each, I guess.
But you know what he is?
I have some friends that don't listen to my music.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. He's listening to the Dante LaFonte podcast, which I highly recommend.
Oh, big shout out to Ruben and the Dante podcast, inspiring us all, bringing community together. Another great human being.
Vineyard alum, as I like to say.
Hell yeah.
Twice now. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Very nice. And you did this podcast, and be sure to check that episode out on YouTube. It's probably going to be in the little right-hand column there with all the recommended videos.
Great. It was a great chat.
So definitely go check that out. Very nice. So anyways, me and Ralphie, we're driving down Imperial, and we're getting, far in there, like Norwalk Boulevard we're passing, and we're
not
like,
Rodeo.
No, not Rodeo.
I don't want to spoil it.
I know.
I'm so bad at this.
It's fine. So we're driving down, and I said, you know what, Ralphie, we're in Santa Fe Springs. I've never been to Beverly Hills, really. I've never really been exploring over there, Mulholland Drive and whatnot. So let's go do that. We have nothing to do.
Oh, okay.
And then so we journeyed over there, and there's a bunch of I'm trying to jump ahead of myself here, but there was one house that was just blasting music. You could just hear the bass. I was like, okay, Interesting. Party, cool, very nice. And then so we turned the corner, and there's 2 kids walking up. Looked like a lame party. I'm not gonna go in there, whatever. I was like, but I got the idea in my head. It's like, oh, you know what? That'd be cool to go to a party over here. I've never been to an alley party, not once, not ever. So we're just kind of driving up, and we see another party, and 2 people are getting out, and they're in like costume. We're not in costume though, but they're
you're
in
not.
costume.
Okay.
No,
okay.
We are not in costume.
Because it's not actual Halloween, and you didn't know if
right.
you'd be going to a party. You don't want to just like drive around in a costume.
Right, exactly. But at the same time, if this had been a premeditated outing, you know, it would have prompted costumes at that point, but it didn't. So that's where we were. We were just in normal street clothes. Everything's fine. Drove up. There's another party. Some people are getting out. I was like, all right, weird. And then I kind of just mentioned it to him, like, hey, we should just crash one of these parties. 6-car rule. You know, the 6-car rule is, it's like if there's 6 cars like in the driveway or adjoining, streets,
then you can go.
And there's enough people that you could slide in.
Never heard of the 6-car rule, but we'll very much be playing by those rules as long as I live from now.
That's just the rule that you should. That's a life hack that I'm giving you right now.
We had, if you were holding something that cost less than $5, you could slap it out of the person's hand.
I like that. I'm gonna be
like a soda, anything, like whatever, you can just slap it out.
It's a Sprite, bro. I'll get you back.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So anyway,
so we're driving around, and then there's this really like ritzy looking party, like with security and everything, and Escalades. And right now,
but at a house or at
house.
At an establishment.
Okay,
like a mansion, like a big looking house, like a Beverly Hills house.
Bingo, Beverly Hills Cop 2 house. Yeah.
So you're cruising around the streets of Beverly. You're not like on the main drag. You're like kind of just cruising around.
We're on the outskirts. Man.
Yeah. Okay,
we're just seeing,
because that's where the real parties would be.
Right. Exactly. So, but I drive a Lincoln Executive L. So it's like a town car, very nice,
very executive. Yeah.
Very executive. A family friend gave it to us because my car blew up finally after.
Look this up. Lincoln Executive, you said?
Lincoln Executive L. So it's even larger, but my car finally blew up after like 525,000 miles.
You look like you drive a celebrity
around. Right. So I was like, I told him to get in the back. That'd be nice. That'd be a good way to do it. Just like I'm dropping off. But this is the thing, though. He wasn't into it.
Can I bring my driver? Like, how would you get in there?
Well, I mean, if somebody's in, I will. That's a moment for them.
Then you're like, meet me at the back door. Yeah.
I'm hanging out.
You'll play the driver the rest of the night. You'll wait.
Yeah. I'll wait, because if he's gonna live, I'm gonna let him live his life. I'm not gonna tie him down with what I'm doing. It's like, if you can get in here,
you're a good friend.
You're a good driver. Yeah, I'm a great driver. Yeah. But anyway, so I have the Lincoln, and there's some like Escalades and stuff driving around. And I was like, well, what's going on? And then so we're like, he wasn't down with that, so we didn't go to that one. And so every time that we would drive up a hill or down the hill, the opposite way would be filled with traffic, like people moving the other direction. It's like, okay, well,
because to get to that one place,
to get to wherever, I don't even know.
You don't think it was the spot you just passed?
I don't think so. And I couldn't even get back to that spot. It was just, and then we ended up.
This is the Saturday before This is like, because Sunday was Halloween. So this was like the party night. Yeah.
This is the party night, which I wasn't even aware of. I didn't even think about that. But
yeah.
So finally, we passed his house.
Ralphie pulls through.
Ralphie's in the car. He's not down with the program, though. I'm like, hey, man.
That's what I'm saying. Doesn't listen to the podcast. Not down to crash random parties in Beverly Hills. I don't know, Ralphie. Like, he's not listening right now, but you're going to have to sell. I hope Ralphie pulls through at the end. And the reason he wasn't down for all these parties was because he actually planned a surprise party for you.
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. But that's not what happens. So eventually, we passed another party. I said, you know what? This is it. And then he's like, no, kind of like hesitant, not like super hesitant, but he's kind of down with
just
it.
Like,
he's nervous.
Man. Like, we could also just go hang the two of us. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. But but that wasn't on the radar. I was like, this is a party right here. Like, it's kind of mellow. It's kind of cool. Whatever. It's fine. We're going to go to this one. So I park. I was like, come on, man, let's do this.
So can you parallel park that Lincoln in LA in one spot, especially on Saturday of Halloween?
That's a good point, because it's very large. I parallel park here. It's a whole different parking situation in Orange County than in LA.
Well, because you live in like Kansas compared to the metropolitan area that is Beverly Hills on a Saturday night.
It's the desert, but however, great parking. Like, I mean, just so many. Yeah, very impressive. A lot of spaces, no issue.
Beverly Hills, thanks.
No,
Great parking. Who knew?
Right. I
maybe
sure
because
didn't.
everybody's so rich there, they're like, yeah, like whatever. We don't need to.
Yeah, it's fine. So I park. I say, let's go. I was just wearing a t-shirt though, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let me grab my jacket. Looks a little bit more professional. It's a little bit more like
what kind of jacket?
It's a button. I've had it for a couple of years now. It's a button up. It's technically a woman's jacket because the buttons are on the left side.
Sure.
And the holes are on the right side.
Sure.
But I love it. Got it in San Diego years ago. It's
kind of like a suit jacket.
No, it's like a beige jacket, kind of like bigger buttons. Has like two like side.
A little bit more like outdoorsy,
right.
But like maybe like vintage British type of look.
Sure. All a lot. It's looking. Okay.
Ooh, like that reference.
So I throw it on. It's a little bit chilly. I throw it on. And then we walk like across the street, but it's only, it's just like a few feet. It's not like a whole crosswalk situation here. So we walk up and there's two women walking up as well. And it's like, all right, we're just gonna blend in. We're just gonna we're part of the crowd. And the two women are kind of like looking like how to get in as well. And there's like an open gate, but I was like, if the gate is open, that's like the main entrance. I want to slide in the back just so I'm like undetected. So I try to slide in the back and the guy's like, no, you got to go around the front.
Can you tell there's a lot of people at this party?
There's some people. I can't tell how many though. That's undisclosed at this moment.
Because you don't want to be in a situation where it's like it's actually like 13 people at a picnic table with their kids.
Right.
And they're like, hey, like, what'd you bring to the potluck?
Yeah. And I'm like, I myself.
I'm at the wrong party. Yeah. I gotta go.
My apologies. My wrong address.
Okay, so you can't go around the back. The guy says you have to go to the front. Who's the guy? Security? Not that scale, right?
I thought security at the beginning, but it had to be just some guy, a part of this catering group thing. But I don't know. Maybe he was just holding court, I guess. And so the two women, or one of the girls also asked, and then he's like, oh, you gotta go around front. I was like, okay, great. And then so I start chit-chatting immediately. I'm immersing myself in this thing,
Sure.
I'm in it. So I'm like,
how do you know the groom? How do you know the bride? Like, as if you're a wedding crashing.
Right,
you want to kind of like just be like, oh yeah, totally, me too. Yeah, I know Jared. Okay, now I've got Jared. Now I've got Kathleen. Like,
yeah, I got references. Yeah,
you're like Sherlock. Yeah.
Are you what graduating class? Like that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. Like really going in it. So and prior to this, rather,
Ralphie's right next to you.
Ralphie's right next to you.
Kind of seeing a side of you that he's never seen before.
No, he's seen this. We've been buddies for quite a while. I like to weasel my way into stuff, That's what I do.
And Ralphie knows it.
Ralphie knows
so
it.
He should have seen this coming.
He knew. He knew what the. But before we got out, he's like, oh, well, what do we say? And I was making jokes like, oh, I'll just say that I have like a Netflix deal it's in development, like that kind of thing. Like, sure. Oh yeah, we're chatting. I'm a consultant on like whatever. Snowfall, like the FX show,
I would be like, sure. Yeah.
Some LA shit, non-Orange County stuff. And then he's like, well, what do we say if somebody asks? I was like, yeah, we'll just know Mike. We'll just say Mike. It's fine name. So anyways, so we got this established, and we walk up to the main entrance, and we're walking kind of with the two girls who are dressed up, and we're not in we're in street clothes. We're not dressed up, and we walk up, and they stop, and they're like, oh, well, we don't want to like knock on the door, and it is a door. It's somebody's house, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna call my husband. So she's got a husband in there already. She's supposed to be there.
Okay.
I say this, and there's no way I'm sticking with them, because then the husband's like, who is this? Cover's blown. So I'm like, okay, this is it.
Interesting.
It's like we gotta walk up to the door.
But you really don't think they'd be like, hey, and like, oh, hey guys, like I'm on this, like, be like, come on, like
it's LA. I don't expect
you're nervous.
I understand that it's like they're not a part of what we're doing.
And how are you in this? I mean, is your heart racing?
No,
no. You don't care.
I'm calm.
My heart would be racing.
What's the worst they're gonna say? Please leave.
but it's still
fine.
like thrilling.
Oh, it's
you
fun.
Must get some thrill out of it.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. Exactly. But I'm not like scared. Like, what's the worst going to happen? Please leave. Will do. I'm not supposed to be here anyways. This is it's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Will do.
Sure. Like no problem. And so I kind of look at Ralphie. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna walk up to the door, and then even if I know the person who's throwing the party, I don't open up the door immediately. That's just not what I do. I don't do that. So I was kind of like, how I feel weird just walking into somebody's house that I know, let alone a random person in another county.
I mean, probably legally and technically you're trespassing at this point.
Is it though? Is it? I feel like it's a gray area with a party. It's like, I don't
know. Hopefully we have some lawyers listening in.
Legality? Yeah. Legality wise, it's a gray area. I don't know where I stand on that. So luckily, it says like ring the bell. So I ring the bell and like the door just opens up. I'm like, great.
Like a feature of the party?
Right. This is Beverly Hills, Ryan. This is not, this is not Echo Park. Did they
install a mechanism to do that?
No clue, but this is expensive.
You ring the bell and the door just opens.
It opened. And I was like, great.
I wonder if that's a setting that they can put on their like weird door tech.
It's probably
if
a
we
ring
have any
update.
Tech door people listening in.
Write in.
There's just going to be, please write in on the comments. Comment below. We want to hear from you. Smash the subscribe.
Turn on that notification.
And comment on if we broke any laws.
But anyways, I ring the door. It opens up. Great. Perfect. I'm not a weirdo. I didn't break in, or I rang the bell. Technically, I rang the bell. It opened up.
That's like if a cop goes to like investigate a serial killer's house and they knock, but the door just opens.
Right.
And then they're like,
if the door's ajar, that's a different.
I think technically now you're in the clear. Now it's not trespassing.
I rang the door. I rang the door. Bell. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So now you're in. You and Ralph are in. We're looking in plain clothes at a Halloween costume party in Beverly Hills. You know, no one there. For anyone who's just joined us.
Yeah, no one.
Because we're live.
Well, we know each other. That's the only people that we know. Cool. And then obviously, so we walk in there. I'm like, wow, this is it's a big house. It's a big house, and it's got like immediately open to the staircase. It's okay, and then so there's some people that like kind of greeted us. I was like, I took the initiative to be like, I'm going to say something first. So it sounds like I'm supposed to be here. I was like, it's in the back. He's like, yeah, it's in the back. I don't know who that guy was. No clue at all. I was like, okay, great. It's in the back. And then, so I was walking into the back. I was like, oh, you know what? I really got to go to the bathroom. I kind of forgot about this with this whole plan involved. Cause we've been driving for about an hour. We just kind of dicking around doing whatever. I was like,
You're not going to wait until things settle to go to the bathroom?
No.
You have a mischievous side to you.
Yeah. I'm a scoundrel.
Because
sure.
because that not only are you like, we haven't even settled at the party, I'm going to go explore this person's house, but you're also leaving Ralphie in the dust.
This is the thing though. Okay, so we walk out there, and there is, I get to the back doors. I open up the back door. There's like a caterer, whatever, however you say it, caterer.
Yeah.
Out there. And I say, hey, do you know where the bathroom is? She's like, oh, it's inside. It's like, oh, okay. So now I'm going to go back there. She's like, are you guys working or attending the party? I was like, no, we're attending. I'm not dressed like you. I mean, I don't have a bow tie on. I don't have a black shirt on. Do you think I'm that cash to work?
Question.
Yeah.
But that could be the first hint as to you don't belong here.
Right. But I immediately crushed. I was like, no, we're supposed to be here.
Like, because everybody, if you didn't notice, had Scientology necklaces on.
Right.
And you don't.
L. Ron Hubbard's place. But whatever.
Exactly. Get the fuck out.
Recite chapter 1 of Dianetics right now. Like that kind of thing. That's what's going on.
Yeah. This is like we're making, I smell a screenplay. I think we're going to write a movie based on this episode.
Yeah. Tom Cruise is there. John Travolta is trying to get out, but they're like, no.
That's Beck. He's trying to get, he's like,
Beck, yeah.
He's crawling out. And they have his shoes and they're bringing him back in. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's singing about devil's haircut. It's a whole thing. It's a whole scene over there.
Okay.
So anyway, so she questions it. I doubled down on that. I was like, yeah, we're here, but where do I kind of a sense of urgency. Yeah. Like I gotta go to the bathroom. And she's like, oh yeah, it's back in the house. Like, okay, shit. Should have thought that, of course. Like, they're not gonna have like a porta potty out there because it's a multi-million-dollar house.
Yeah, that's true.
So, as you, Ralphie, I gotta go to the bathroom. He's like, oh well, all right. I was like, yeah, just come back in with me. It's fine. So walk in, two bathrooms downstairs. Very odd. Two separate bathrooms. I walked
both downstairs.
It's just downstairs.
Or those were the ones that the guests were supposed to use. The ones downstairs, probably.
Yeah. The mortals, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So I walked in there. I went to the weird layout of the bathroom, sink, weird like tile, and then like kind of around the corner, kind of like a public restroom. Like you kind of turn the corner, and then there's the toilet. Very interesting. No shower though, which is, I mean, I could kind of look past it if there's a shower, but there's no shower. I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. So I go to the bathroom and I can't figure out how to flush the toilet, which means you're in a really expensive house if you can't figure out how to immediately flush.
No, because you're supposed to say like, Alexa, flush the toilet, or like it's something that we don't have. It's a product we don't have, so we don't know how to use it.
This is above
our little brains. Yeah, we can't process the amount of
way
absolute
over
processing power that these rich people have the ability to have in their homes. Yeah, from the doorbell opening, that mystifies me. Let alone a bathroom that you don't know how to flush the toilet in.
Right, absolutely. You're with me. So I'm kind of perplexed. There's no lever on the side of the tank, which I'm waiting for. Like I'm like, okay, this is where it usually is, but this is not Orange County, so of course it's not there. So, but there's like a rod sticking out of the middle of the tank.
We flush our toilets with a little bit of just your hands. I don't know what this LA nonsense is.
It's an outhouse. There's no flushing. It's just an outhouse. That's basically what Orange County is. It's all outhouse.
Yeah. I thought you were telling the story, so I thought you were saying that it was, and I was like, this doesn't line up. This is a twist. This is what we've been waiting for.
Right. So then there's like a rod, and then I try to push it down, like push it. I thought it would be a push. No, pull. It's a pull. So I eventually figured that out. Flush it, wash my hands. Great. Ralphie's standing outside. He's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, great, I'll hang out here. It's fine. You know, I'm just hanging out in the house. Sure, whatever. And there's people walking by in weird like entrances and exits. Very odd layout of the house.
At this point, do you have an updated guess at how many guests there are? And the reason that I ask is because that would be the number one thing for me. If I walked in, I'd be like, okay, if I can sense that there's more than 50 people here, I think we're good. But if that would be, but if it's a huge house and 10 people, I need to know right away before I go use their bathroom, before I do any, like, unlike you, I would need to know. That would be like plaguing me until I found out. And meanwhile, you're just like taking a dump in some person's house while you have no idea what the circumstances of this event is. Some worker has already asked if you're a guest or not, meaning you're probably drawing suspicions. So funny. I feel for Ralphie. Before I was shitting on Ralphie, and now I'm a Ralphie stan. Ralphie, if you are listening in, this one's for you, bud.
Right, exactly.
We are all Ralphie.
At some point, for sure. I have a guess, kind of, because I walked out to the back, and I saw like a little tarp thing, a little like a tent tarp thing.
That's a good sign.
I was okay. People are out there. That's where the people are. They're not inside, but there's some kind of people like
usually
running around.
You have like
inside.
Audio cues.
Right.
Like, could you hear a crowd of people talking?
I could hear a DJ.
Okay.
Which kind of,
it's gonna be a surprise bar mitzvah Halloween.
Quinceañera. No. So he was like, I need to use the restroom. I was like, okay, great. Go ahead. And then meanwhile, I was like, well, let me just take a little gander. I'm not gonna go upstairs or nothing, but I'm just kind of surveying the area. There's a lot of pictures on the wall and on.
You're still inside.
Oh, I'm inside. Yeah, I'm inside.
And how many people are inside besides you and Ralphie?
I feel like there was like 4 or 5 because I saw like some people like walking back and forth from different areas of the house. So on the perimeters, at least. I was
so
on the
you are 2 of 6 people wandering around this mansion looking at this person's stuff. We might be back to trespassing again. But anyway, keep going.
I was just
looking at their family photos of a stranger.
Well, they had a whole shrine thing, and I was like, okay,
wait,
like there's
what?
Yeah, not like a shrine, but like like photos, just family photos, portraits, like the kids, the mother, big picture of the mother. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna get a gauge of who lives here. I was like, okay, cool.
Is it a celebrity?
No, I mean not that I could tell. Like I didn't notice.
Because I thought for a second maybe you were like looking to be like, okay, if this party is a huge deal, maybe somebody famous lives here.
Right.
Because it's your first time to Beverly Hills.
Right. It's not.
Maybe you're like, I want to see like, LeBron. Like, I don't know. Okay. So where do we leave off? You're at the family photos, which you weirdly called a shrine.
Well, it's not a shrine. It kind of looked like a shrine to me. That's what. But I don't know how you guys do it.
Your family doesn't do family photos? No, we don't do any. No, we don't have any family photos. But my family does.
Sure.
My family has pictures of us as kids around.
But I don't know what the gauge is of the party. Maybe it is a shrine. Maybe they are, Satanists. Who knows? Scientologists, perhaps. Who knows?
It's Halloween. It's spooky. Satanism is in the air.
It's Halloween. Misfits it's playing in my head.
Sure.
Halloween. Sure. I'm getting into the, October country. My girlfriend is a witch.
What was the DJ playing?
He was just playing. Well, I'll get to the DJ. So Ralphie comes out. I was like, okay, are you ready to go? Are you ready to go?
Because he had to pee too.
Yeah, he had to go to bed. Yeah, yes, absolutely.
He wasn't going to be the one to be like, let's go pee in this person's house. But since you did it, he was like, okay, I'll empty the tank.
Right.
I'm in too deep.
It's fine. Yeah. We're in it. Yeah. So I was like, are you ready? He's like, yeah. So then we walk out to the back, huge pool to the right. And it's like, that's a big pool. Rad.
Are people in it?
No, nobody's in it. And I was like, somebody could be in that, but whatever. Or just
a pool party where there's nobody in the pool. I'm always very frustrated.
Right. So I walk up and there's a bunch of people in the tent, a lot of people in there dressed as whatever. Like there's like a dude dressed as Bob Ross and it looked like he had cocaine on his nose. Like, I think that was part of the bit, like not like he was doing cocaine. Very funny. There was like the dude.
That sounds pretty hip and fun already.
Right, but
sounds like maybe you struck gold at this party.
It's a bunch of squares though, because I walk in there and like I'm like, all right, cool. Like there's a bar over there. Great. I'm gonna get a beer. Like that just needs to be done. Ralphie's not driving. He has to drink, because that's just part of the deal. And very nice guest appearance. But anyways, so we walk in there. I was like, great. I was like, you know what? We're just gonna stay on the kind of the outskirts. Not make our presence known, just kind of stand here, maybe dance a little bit. And there's 2 like girls dancing as well. DJ, 2 girls dancing, no one else is dancing. Everyone else is talking.
Is it clear that they're maybe paid to do that, or are they just the cool people at the party who want to dance?
Absolutely, they're there to dance. They're paid to dance. They're there. That's what they're there for.
Strange vibes. I think I'm on the way out now. From
very odd. But I was like, well, we're already in here.
You already got a beer?
Oh yeah. I squeezed by this guy. It's kind of tight knit. I was like, excuse me, and the guy just like looks at me like, what the fuck are you doing talking to me? It's like, well, listen, bud, you're in front of the bar. You're drinking at the bar. Move it to a table.
Yeah.
Move it somewhere else. And
yeah.
That bothered me.
No, if there's a character in a movie who's at a bar by themselves, they're about to get talked to.
Right.
So if you're that person, move along. If you don't want to be that character in all of our movie, we're trained to talk to you, bud.
Yeah, beat it. Yeah. Anyways, but that guy was real mad at me. I was like, okay, well, I just gotta get by to get these drinks. Grab 2 drinks. Then we're just kind of standing there like, this is cool. This is like this is an all right place. And when I was passing by, this guy was like, some. So I took the Molly. I was like, okay, this is that kind of thing. So this guy's rolling on Molly, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. Not so square anymore.
Not so square, but kind of stuck up-ish still, So
stuck
whatever.
Up-ish. I get that. Yeah. Square. Well, you are, where you are in the whole wide world right now, locationally. Beverly Hills, California.
Some random person's house, yeah.
And a mansion. You're gonna get some stuck upness probably, and probably some Molly.
Yeah, and a shrine. But all right, so fire drill's done. Fire drill.
Whew.
Everything's good.
Oh yeah, we're great.
Right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What was the catalyst for that?
Cooking.
All right.
Not smoky in here. Smells good. Grace is cooking something, and our smoke alarm went off. Or fire, that's another mysterious tech. I was trying to like just turn it off, and she was like, "No, you have to wave something in front of." And I was like, "But I thought it was heat." Clear the, she's like, "No, it's smoke.
Clear the smoke out of the." Yes, come on.
She was no. I know. I'm archaic. I'm not a man's man.
This is normal. This is protocol.
I need to read up on smoke detectors. Probably. I live in California. It's just jeez.
Come on, yeah. I mean,
I didn't know to do the waving trick.
That's you gotta clear it away from the sensor. That's what
I've seen the waving trick, but I panicked in the moment. I just needed the noise to stop. So I didn't know. I forgot all functions in my body.
We're gonna get you to a fire whatever safety demonstration.
Yeah, that's what we'll do with Ben.
Down at the clinic, yeah.
We'll go to a fire safety clinic. Sounds great. Okay, so
yeah.
All right, so you've got your drink.
Oh yeah. So,
you're at a party for anybody joining us.
Yeah, catch up to speed. Yeah, I'm crashing this party. We're Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. So it's not a wedding. It's just some random person's house
Halloween
party. Hey, Halloween party. So whatever.
Oh, is everybody in costume except for you? Or do you fit in?
There's some like real cool dudes like Supreme shit that they're like, I'm not down with it. Whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
That's you.
But I don't want to.
You have the jacket.
I had the jacket. I could just be somebody else. Yeah. So I was like, okay, at least I look kind of semi-professional-ish, give or take. Probably take. But the point is, I'm not looking out of place. I'm just looking like just a guy who didn't dress up. We're just chit-chatting with the because everybody's just like pushing them off, like, yeah, thanks, leave. Like, just get out of here. Just get out of my inner group of people that I'm talking to. But we're embracing them. Like, we need somebody to talk to. Please come talk to us. Mm-hmm. And there's this nice guy. I forgot his name, but he said, he's like, oh yeah, well, like, how you guys doing? I was like, yeah, good, man. How are you? He's like, I'm good. Like, I just moved here from Baltimore. Like, I'm in this theater thing. I was like, that's fucking awesome, man. And he's like, yeah, like, it's like really cool. He's like, I like it so far. I'm just kind of doing this. I'm an actor. I was like, oh, like, that's great, man. And he was like, well, what do you guys do? And then Ralphie said, because he's a designer. So he's like, okay. Oh, I'm a shoe designer. He's like, awesome. He's like, what do you do?
Which feels very LA.
Right. Super LA.
Yeah. That answer fits right in, I feel like.
Well, Ralphie feels at home in LA. He used to work in LA.
Okay.
So he's a part of this whole thing. Kind of on the outskirts.
Well, he's at least kind of comfortable with it.
Oh, he's comfortable not in the situation that we're in right now, but in LA. He's very comfortable. That's the thing. Which I am comfortable in the situation, not in LA though. So that's where that kind of means.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic we've got.
Very interesting, but together we're whole.
So what do you say?
So I was, I'm a writer. He's, oh yeah. I'm not a fucking writer. But he's like, hey man, let me give you my card. And I was like, and then immediately, I didn't want to get like his hopes. I was like, hey man, listen, I can't do anything with it. But
I can't get this to Spielberg. I'll show him.
I'll bring it up at the meeting.
I promise he'll like it.
At the meeting, I'll bring it up, but I don't know if this will.
Kathleen Kennedy, yes, I'll call her right now about it, but she might not pick up.
I'll send her an email, and then we'll circle back on Monday regarding this issue. But yeah, and I was like, well, you know what? We got to do, man. We gotta take a picture here. It's like, we were here. We gotta like signify this. And he's like, all right, man. And then so we asked the guy, he's like, hey man, would this get you in trouble if you took a picture of us? He's like, no, it would. I was like, great, like let's take a picture.
What did you mean by that? Would this get you in trouble?
Well, I mean, because like he would have gotten in trouble with the card passing out. I didn't want to be like, hey man, take a picture of us, and then he gets reprimanded.
Is that what you picked up on, that he didn't want anyone to see that he gave you his card?
Yes. He's like, I can get in trouble for this, so I didn't want to.
Wait, why did he say that? I could get in trouble for this? Because
probably because he's not supposed to be networking. He's supposed to be working. That's my guess. I don't know.
Oh, he was working the event.
Yeah. Yes. He's a server.
I thought you were hanging with a party guest.
No.
So your first friend was somebody who wasn't attending the party.
He was there, but he wasn't.
Alienated a couple guests, but only made friends with one server. Okay.
Well, no, two.
Well, one thought that maybe you worked for them.
That was okay. So 4, I guess, because there was another guy that walked by with like some sushi. And then
that's not you can't say he was your friend.
No, I mean he was just a confidant and not like a friend.
All that happened was he walked by with some sushi and you didn't even want the
sushi. But we're chit-chatting.
And
I'm just trying to make it better. It's like I get you're working, this fucking sucks. I understand. I'm trying to make your night more enjoyable. But they so like we were chit-chatting with a couple of workers there, and then we asked our real buddy with the cards. Yeah. Like, could you take a picture of us? Because there's a bunch of like Instagram.
Would you get in trouble? That makes total sense now.
Right.
Okay. And he said he would do it anyway.
Yeah. No, he's I won't get in trouble for this.
Yeah, because if his boss sees you're assumingly the guest at the party asking for a picture.
That's the role that I'm portraying at the moment.
Exactly.
So he was holding like a plate of sushi as well, and he's like trying to put it down. I was like, no, hand it to me. Like hand the sushi to me. Like I'll hold
Interesting move.
But I'll hold
for the picture.
In the picture.
For the picture, yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that. Prop.
Yeah, that's like because I don't like to just stand there. I'm not a good picture taker, anyways.
No, I like that. I like having a prop too.
Not photogenic. I was like, give me the sushi. I'll hold it. Kind of kill two birds.
I always need to be holding something like
right.
That.
Got the
screwdriver. I've had this in my hand the whole conversation.
Yeah, I understand. This is just the mode of how you operate. I understand. I'm completely with it. I understand the mechanics of it.
Can you send me this picture? Can you text me this picture right now?
Absolutely. MacBook
all right, I'm never gonna get this photo.
It's sending. It says
just get back to the story.
All right. So anyway, so we took the picture and we're on our way out. That was it. We're gone.
Oh, that's it. That's the end of the journey.
Well, and then we walked back into the house. It's like, hey Ralphie, just stand by this chandelier.
Nice.
And then, but it was like draped with like ribbon. And then like he took a picture of me there, and then we're out of there. Then that was the end of the adventure. And then we left, went home.
I mean, it's not something. I mean, so no regrets, right? You're smiling. You're all smiles about that night. How does Ralphie feel about it?
Yeah, he's psyched on it.
He giggles. He giggles when you guys discuss it.
Yeah, he's like,
and you gave that to Ralphie,
right.
We all need you in our lives when we are Ralphie to drive us into these crazy situations.
Right, and I'm here for it. I love those nice stories.
If you slip on a banana peel, you're gonna laugh at yourself.
Yeah,
whatever. Let's rock.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens.
I'm down.
I like
for
that.
It. Yeah,
I like that. We need some of that energy in LA right now.
Yeah, well, I'm bringing it to LA.
My cat just keeps jumping on my tape machine. It's really. She's a dangerous one. Anyway, okay, sorry.
Is it an 8-track? What is it? I
have a 388, so it is an 8-track, but it's got like the mixer on board, which is really cool. So it's like all the same unit.
Very nice. It sounds expensive.
It wasn't that expensive when I got it, but maintaining it is a bitch, and it's gone ridiculously up in price to the point where it's like not worth what people are paying for it, but it's still amazing. I love it to death, but I think a lot of people have used it on records, like indie records, and I don't know why, but it's skyrocketed in money.
Right.
I got one because I'm obsessed with Ty Segall.
Yeah,
he's like the last living rock star to me, and he made a bunch of records on this machine. So back like 10 years ago, I bought one because I was going to every single Ty Segall show that he would play.
That's awesome.
If I heard that Ty Segall was playing in Los Angeles, I would be there, and I would be like in the pit, or like he's a rock god. And I've met him.
Yeah,
and like he's a very nice guy.
He is a very nice guy. Definitely
wild. Like my album is called Stars. Like going to a bar and like feeling like I contribute albums. Like I'm in LA. I'm making music. I'm making records that I think are really great, and I feel totally awkward and socially anxious around my community sometimes. And that goes all the way from my own issues that I need to deal with, but also speaking to like the nature of celebrity the nature of local celebrity and the nature of like going to a bar and being like, holy crap, like that's that dude. Like there's like an indie famous is very real in LA. Whereas like, you know, we were just talking about 8 billion people in the world. 7 of those billion, I don't think like the 99% of those people don't know who Mac DeMarco is. 99%. But in our community, the guy can't get a coffee without having to sign somebody's t-shirt and take 10 selfies. And he doesn't even live in New York City. So this idea of stars that are in my life it's like I'm back in high school again, and the theater kids are the cool kids, and I still feel like I don't belong. And there's all this validation floating around with music, and like I don't think, I just obviously like my art and my music, it's not about this concept, you know, it's about my life, it's about me, it's about stories, it's whatever, that's totally separate. But I've had this idea of naming it Stars and talking a little bit about this because I don't know, I just want a more welcoming, loving, like comfy music community. And I think a lot of it stems from this like rat race to have some sort of indie fame and cred and be cool when, like I said, 99% of the world doesn't know who you are, even if you reach that. So it's like we all need to kind of be like, and we're all in this rat race, like to what ends? It's not like there's millions of dollars waiting for us that we're competing over. It's like indie record deals and like a billboard in Highland Park and like selling out your show, but it's only $250 cap. It's like we all need to let go and support each other a little bit more. And I think, you know, and that's on all of us, you know, and I really want to lead a charge and try to be, just with my personality and with the studio and with my music and supporting artists, I want to just always be open to like, at least if you send me a song, reposting it on my story, you know, like, and not being too cool to like stand something or like support something. Cause it's like, if it's good, like we should all get behind it, especially because everything lives online these days. So we need to be more like engaged in our community and supportive, and not like too cool for school. So yeah, that's what the album concept is about. And but the songs are a totally different thing.
It's about hating just like where you live and everybody that you converse with.
No, I really would say that this is a comment on the music community as a whole and not a comment on my amazing community that I have around me. Like I'm not talking about my friends here. I'm not talking about the musicians that I know. I'm talking about this sense, this like otherness, this high celebrity, indie famous stars, intimidating thing, you know, that doesn't exist when you don't sell records, because it's like whatever, like no, you know, there's no indie cred when you know, none of us have tasted like a sold out room, you know, or headlining or people singing back our lyrics to us, and you know, like it's like kind of this base level of just like still being a developing band after 10 years. You know, and that goes into the psychology too. It's like realizing that I'm more focused on a body of work than hoping that my next single blows up on TikTok. You know, it's like, I really need to look at this as just like, okay, I'm an artist for the rest of my life. I'm going to make records. And if this gives me a space to like chat about some things, why not be this thing about like celebrity that I've been thinking about, you know, because it's challenging to me. I want people to respect me. I want reverence. I want validation. I want community, and I want a seat at the table. But do I, if it comes with fame, like have you ever been friends with any, or like, you know, been around somebody where you're like, God, that looks fucking terrible. Yeah. Everybody's coming up to them and it's like, yeah, that doesn't seem like a vibe. So so it's like, at what point is it worth it? Like how indie famous do you really want to be?
And that played a part in the development of the rock and roll church, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, free shows.
That'd been funny if you just went and then just didn't elaborate on that.
No, yeah, I know.
Kind of just move past it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like the antithesis to a bar show. So it's like, you know, we'll have some coffee some weekends, but it's not going to be like driven by liquor. The church is purely coincidental. I was brainstorming spaces that might have a space available that they already own by some benefactor from the church probably, and the space just sits there and they pay for it, but on some nights they don't use it. And I was like, okay, that could be a school, but like, do I want to do shows at a school and like get, you know, like that feels weird. And then I was like, why not a church, especially if it's a Presbyterian church where it's not like this is a sacred space. It's more like it's a sacred space when we come and do sacred things in it. And when it's not, there's like middle school plays in here, and like, you know, like it's just a space. So they're giving us a space. And so that's like kind of the antithesis to like a dark bar. We're going to have dim lights where you can see everybody. It's going to be cozy, and like there's going to be a free flea market too to support like local vendors and artists. And, you know, all the artists are playing for free, which is crazy when you think about it. But we're all used to like playing shows where we walk home with like $50 each. And in order to earn that $50 each, we had to convince 20 of our friends to come pay $20.
Bringer shows. Yeah, sure.
So it's like, yeah. Well, not even pay to play, but the concept is always pay to play, because you want your friends to come out because you want to play your songs to them. You want people to come out because you want to reach a lot of people. But then you're convincing them all to buy tickets, and they're giving those tickets mostly to the promoters in the bar, and the artists still walk away with chump change. So I'm thinking, why not provide a space where people can come, they play for free, but their friends can come for free, and they can come to a place where everything's free. The artists are giving their time, but hopefully they can network with other like artists and gain new fans. And, you know, until the industry respects us, to value us, not only online and on Spotify, but also in the live music space, especially developing bands, throwing a first of third $150 to split between 4 players. Like, we need to start respecting artists. And until then, why don't we treat it like it's, people don't value it and think it's free. So right now it's free. And until people respect us and value our thing, I guess it's hard to like demand a $20 ticket sale, like just, and do it every week, especially when I'm doing it every week, you know? So it's going to be free. And I like that, you know, I like free shows. And like I said, it's not, most of us are not used to getting paid much anyway. But anyway, not to be a downer about it, but yeah. And it's going to be a really special event. And it's going to be every Sunday in Eagle Rock at the Eagle Rock Presbyterian Church. Yeah. And I'm stoked about that.
That's fucking killer, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But by this time it comes out, it'll already have happened.
How do you think it went?
I think it went really, really well, but I wish you hadn't texted me that thing that you texted me that second Sunday in November.
Well, it's my fault. I was trying to invite you to the party, and I was like, well, Ryan really enjoyed the, you know, I was hanging out with Ralphie.
Of course.
Like, Ralphie, right, Ryan.
I'm so excited I'm so thankful that you and Ralphie came to every single show. Thank you. Right. And that you guys did stand-up comedy every single week at the Rock and Roll Church. You guys killed it. Thank you.
And we were on
Jacob
Oregon.
And Ralphie.
And we were on Oregon.
You played chopsticks together. They showed up naked one weekend, which was weird. Yeah.
Well, it
was a success.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then,
but for our listeners, yes, we are time traveling right now.
Right.
And it's November and it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
That might be confusing, like any time travel movie.
Sure. Except Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted, very thorough movie.
Yeah. Back to the Future. Back to the Future is good. I love it. Oh, you're not into Back to the Future?
I'm not into it. I'm not. Come on, man. Come on. I mean,
over.
That's it. It's a wrap. You're from Pennsylvania, correct? Yes. How did you get into music out there? Like, what did you have an older brother, older sibling?
I did have an older sister that listened to great music, and she's always given me amazing recommendations. She showed me Astral Week. She showed me Village Green Preservation Society. She was like hip to like Neil Young before I was, the band, Grateful Dead. Like, yeah, she's the shit. But also like indie stuff too. Like, we would talk a lot about like maybe like Animal Collective when it came, Vampire Weekend.
Weekend, the first album.
Oh yeah,
is a great. People talk shit on Vampire Weekend. The first album with the chandelier.
No, it was like punk Paul Simon.
It's I do like it.
No,
I really like it.
They're a big band for me. Bring me on tour. Vampire Weekend.
Would you drop everything you're doing right now? Everything. If Ezra Koenig.
Yeah. I drop everything and go on tour.
Everything's
in a
dropped.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey,
playing my set, or like playing in their band, my set, right?
In the band, band.
No.
Okay, playing your opening.
If I'm opening, yes.
No, sorry, you're closing. They're opening.
Well, then double yes. But people are gonna be so mad. Showed up the Hollywood Ball at 7:30 and Vampire Weekend already played. Who's Ryan Pollie?
That'd be rad. That'd be awesome.
Sure, I'll take it. Do you represent them? Where do I sign?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm with XL Recordings.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Great to meet you. You should sign me too.
Yeah. Well.
All right. What else? What else you got for me? Let's call this like the rapid fire round. Okay.
All right. Developing new segments on you.
Yeah, because I gotta go, and I'd rather spend time talking about that amazing Halloween story than my stupid stuff. Let's go. Come on.
It's horrible. By the way, I'm gonna have you on again. Just we're gonna do this again so we could really get into the real crux of it, because that wasn't the real crux of it. It's a Halloween story.
Part two featuring Ralphie.
No, I'm not featuring Ralph. Ralphie doesn't listen. Ralphie doesn't get to be on.
I know. Listen. He has to come and host.
I don't make the rules. Anyways, you went to Bates College in Maine, correct?
Yeah.
Why? What drew you to Bates College?
I grew up going a lot to New England, going to Vermont, and I fell in love with New England.
Cape Cod.
Just kind of like, the romance. Well, I romanticized New England a lot.
Vampire Weekend style, I understand.
Sure. Just like pretty East Coast. And so Maine checks off that box for sure. And I realized I wanted to go to somewhere small because I went to a private high school where things were small, and I kind of needed that personal attention, or else I think I would have gotten lost. And like I needed people to kind of rein me in when I was a kid, and needed that small class size, or else I think I would have slipped and just like not been paid attention to and not excelled in any way in the education system. Not that that's something that I think is important necessarily in life, but let's just say it for the sake, I was playing the game at the time of the education system, and the game was to be good at school. And I think I wouldn't have been good at a big school. And so everything was pretty up there, small school. Everything was kind of on campus, which was fine. It looked pretty on campus, and like all the buildings were like red brick, and it was like, if we're gonna party inside, like it looks nice here. And they had a good music program, but it was a school where you'd have to take like English and math and other, you couldn't just take music classes. It was like liberal arts school, so you had to kind of take a little bit of everything, which I'm glad I did. I mean, it just like exposed me to more shit than if I was like going to Berkeley and just being like, I just want to shred, So I'm glad that I did that.
Liberal arts school confidential. That's
and then I moved to LA and never looked back. I moved to LA to be a rock star.
Directly from Maine.
Yeah, I think I came home for a summer, like outside of Philly, and then bounce.
Did you pursue like a love interest? You said like a summer with a girl, move back home for her. That's the real movie that we write.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay.
Yeah, like it's like a real like a feel good thing. It's like I don't know what to do. You just kind of come back to say hello to folks. Guess what?
I mean, sure. Let's add it to our script. There. Let's add it to our script list.
We got a lot
4 or 5.
Yeah. A lot of screenplays.
We got a lot to crank out on part 2 of this podcast.
We'll get a deal with Netflix. This will be a whole thing, and we're gonna get Ben Schwab involved. Whether he likes it or not, he's coming
out again. Sylvie, an amazing record.
Seriously though, that's
all right. Next rapid fire. Let's do it.
Next rapid fire. You know what is a concert that stood out to you over the years?
I think about Sufjan playing the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, which is like this historical Los Angeles space, and he played Carrie and Lowell front to back, and somebody was able to get me tickets because they were expensive, because it was at like a really nice place. And it was like all seated in this beautiful theater, and that record meant a lot to me. And I was able to go both nights and just cry my eyes out. I've cried every time I've seen Jackson Browne. I think a lot about seeing Blink-182 on their 10th anniversary self-titled show, especially since Tom left the band and Mark got cancer. Like a lot has happened in the Blink-182 culture since this show in like crazy ways. Travis Barker's Axton, like just and I'm a Blink fan, die hard Blink fan. So when they played that show, I got free tickets, so I wasn't even gonna go. Wore my flip-flops. We were general admission. Self-titled was kind of where I started falling off. So I was like Dude Ranch, Enema, like Takeoff, Mark, Tom, and Travis show. And then when Self-Titled came out, it was kind of like, like I think I'm getting into like Radiohead and like Jimi Hendrix. Like I've kind of moved on from pop punk.
Right. That was kind of.
But years later, I can still sing all those albums front to back. So if you're gonna get me in to see Blink-182 and it's the full lineup, 10 years anniversary tour of my least favorite album by them, whatever, I'm still gonna fucking go. So they play the thing front to back. It's great. They go off stage. They come back. And they play an 18 song encore. And it includes deep cuts that are like as if they knew Ryan Pollie was there. Like Apple Shampoo, they play Josie, they play M&M's, they play fucking these songs that I've seen Blink-182 a lot of times in my childhood, but as an adult seeing these songs. So I crowd surfed for like the first time since I was like a very little kid, because I'm very tall. I think I lost a flip-flop many times. So somebody had to pick up my skanky flip-flop and pass it back to the tall dude. Was it
rainbow?
Oh yeah. At the time, I'm vegan now, so I have like vegan rainbows now. But at the time, it would have definitely been a rainbow sandal size 13, and it would have been stanky.
Brown.
Although I tried like the white hemp ones, those were gross. Rainbows are like the best looking sandal, but
okay. What about a Sanuk? You know what Sanuk is? Like,
yeah,
it's not.
I know what Sanuk is.
The look on your.
I'm
face.
telling you, no. There's a vegan rainbow knockoff called like Cobain. It kind of like Kurt Cobain, but it's like has an L in it. I think it's like Cobain. But I was like, is Kurt Cobain selling vegan rainbows? But they look the part, they hold up well, and they are all vegan, and they look like rainbows, exactly like rainbows. So I would plug Cobain. We're plugging Sylvie and Cobain in sandals.
Pacifico, because it's a sponsor.
That's your hustle.
That's
your fight to win.
Because Uber says get your side hustle on. No. Pacifico. That's what I'm leaning towards for my side.
Uber's just. I don't want to think about Uber.
No.
It costs me $30 to get down the street right now.
Yeah.
If I want to go to an Uber, it's the worst.
That's what you did. You drove out the taxis, and then now they have a monopoly on you.
I know. All right, I didn't drive them out. Thank you very much. But yes, I was part of the problem. All right, rapid fire question next.
What's an underappreciated English band?
Heron.
Okay.
Unless it's actually pronounced Heron, but I
don't even know who that is. I have no clue.
They are, and Ronnie Lane and Slim Chance. Ronnie Lane's the bassist and writes all your favorite the Faces songs. Ooh La La, all your favorite Faces songs are Ronnie Lane songs. And his solo album is grandly overappreciated. Ronnie Lane and Slim Chance. And Heron is appreciated by like vinyl nerds and stuff, but the record's classic. They recorded outside in like Berkshire, England. So you hear like the birds, and there's pictures of them just like literally they just do a show outside, and it's that good that they just released it on as a record, and it's one of the best records ever. Mm-hmm. English. Yeah, that's all I got. Next.
What's a song that you wish you could have written?
That's such a feeling and motivation that like it happens a lot.
Currently, like as of today, 1:32 p.m.
Yeah, the first person that comes to mind is Will Fox, one of my friends, and we played in a band together that was my songs for like a long time, and I always knew that he wrote songs, and he gave me demos, and I give him feedback, and then he like left the band, he went and did his own record, and it was singularly like this like fully baked amazing songwriter that was like one of my friends for years, and he was just like hello, and it was just like instant, just like motivating feeling like, oh my god, these songs are so different than what I would write, And I just had so much, it just was mind expanding, just realizing how much I had to learn and how much there's still is outside of your own, the way you do things. Like there's still so much opportunity to break out of the mold songwriting wise. And when you look at it, my mind's blown by this friend who makes songs in the rock tradition that is my, you know, and like there's so much music that's so narrow to have my mind exploded that way. But it maybe because it was so close and we were friends and we were making things together, because that's why I thought maybe it'd be more similar, and the fact that it was so different was so inspiring. Mm-hmm. Because we were so similar, I guess, as people and in the same community in LA, both white men, you know, like to be so different within the rock tradition, something so narrow but so different was very inspiring.
Right. Why did you choose to release Shorehouse as the first single off the new album?
Because we were running out of summer, and I think that's a really good song. So it was kind of just like, you know, the album gets finished and then you're like, oh, it'll definitely come out here. And it's like, why don't we push it back a couple months? Okay, it'll definitely come out then. Oh, why don't we should push it back? And so then it's like, okay, but our first single was going to be the Shorehouse, and we did a music video for it, and we can't release that at Christmas. So it's kind of like, okay, well then it should obviously be the first single. But it was kind of obvious anyway that it kind of like this, if you're going to watch me go away and work on an album for a while and come back and show you something, I think Shorehouse is a nice, like, this is what I've been doing. Like, isn't it? It has so many parts. And
check it out.
It's like big. Yeah. Like, so that was fun. That was fun to be like, I'm back. And like, here's this grand statement with like harp and strings and horns and, you know, like just like a guitar solo by Michael Rawl. Like, it was just a nice way to be like, hey, I'm back. And like, let's kind of do this, and I hope you listen to my record type of stuff, you know? So
fucking Michael Rawl, man.
Another shout out. Unbelievable songwriting.
Love the guy. Yeah.
Great dude.
What's an artist or band that you would like to see that is now passed on, that is dead now, but you like to see in there, whatever you consider their prime?
I'm my age, right? I have like my 33-year-old live show energy.
It's you now being transported into wherever.
Yeah, the Beatles in 1968 or 67. Okay. 68. Like I would like the Rooftop Show, or like, you know, like seeing.
Oh, you're later on.
Later Beatles, that's my shit.
Sure.
But them all together, no, that's too early. No. Them all together though, like long hair, playing like Abbey Road or Let It Be shit, and looking at the stage and being like, there's John Lennon singing, there's Paul McCartney singing, there's George Harrison singing, and there's Ringo. I would faint. Those people mean a lot to me. So I would have to pick them. And like, there's fucking bands I'd fucking kill to see live in the 60s and 70s, obviously. But
it's like a runner-up to that.
Maybe like, geez, like to see like the Quadrophenia tour by The Who, or there's this really amazing Chukasaka record that I have. It's a live record. I'm really into like J-rock from the early 70s. So it's Japanese artist Chukasaka. And the record it's not on Spotify, it's on YouTube, but it's a live record. And it's my favorite live record of all time. So I'd have to say seeing Chukasaka's band at a theater in fucking Japan in 1971 would be a big runner-up as well.
Right. What artist contemporarily, as of right now, is the biggest right now? Like Drake? What is the equivalent to the Beatles like right now? Like who do you think is like the most well-known, like that you could ask a large majority of people and they would know who that is?
It's nowhere close.
Right.
It'll never be, just because of
course, there will never be another Beatles. There'll never be anybody who is as successful as the Beatles ever. Absolutely.
It's just also, but just because it's so different that it's just hard to compare.
Right.
because there's more of them. There's not one singular like Bieber maybe like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe.
Right. That's contemporary for sure.
Yeah, but not anymore. But the Bieber madness with the screaming, everybody in the world knew who Justin Bieber was, how global it was, how much money the machine was making. Maybe Taylor. No, she wants to be softer and comfy and reserved now. She's in her 30s. She's not the Beatles anymore. But maybe Taylor, when she was like at her teeny bop biggest, like maybe like Red era Taylor, maybe too. That could be up there. And maybe Drake. I've just been so out of like pop hip hop since like college aged. Besides like a couple. Just hold on, we're going home. That song fucks. I like that song.
So we're traveling back to Maine.
Who would you say?
I didn't have an answer for it, but my brother like brought up perhaps Drake, and the more I thought about it, I said possibly. Yeah. But when you look at the Beatles, it's like people in Japan knew who the Beatles were. People in Indonesia knew who the Beatles were. People, immigrants from.
I'd say that.
But like,
I'd say Drake is maybe more global than the Beatles because of the internet, because of marketing structures.
Right.
You just don't know because we just don't see it. But that shit is plugged globally, and the networking that these major labels have now, that's the big push. It's like once you're on that level with international success. Like that's the financial potential there is insane to get to that point. And I don't know what rock bands have had that since like the 2000s.
Yeah. It's so much change within 21 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Arcade Fire is not that band. Sorry, Bon Iver. Like we're Beatles? No, untouchable in the rock genre. Probably ever. There hasn't been a band to touch that. And you can say Radiohead or Arctic Monkey. That's just no.
Okay, what about this though? Nirvana. Because I mean,
those are small records, and there's only a couple of them.
Longevity, though. I mean, how long has Kurt Cobain been gone? Also, would you want to see Nirvana?
Yeah, of course.
Original lineup.
Of course. Who wouldn't? You'd be a psycho. That show had so much raw energy, and literally that's what the records were. It was like a better version of the records. Because the records, like besides Kurt doing all the double tracking and the double guitars and the production's amazing on those records. I'm not saying that, but to see him do all that guitar work and sing it all and have the band and have Dave just like, it's just perfect the way it is. They got to be one of the best live shows you could ever see.
Queen.
Sure.
I don't think
you can't see Queen at like a club,
right?
You know, you're asking me to go to like Madison Square Garden with you, even if we're talking about like 1975.
Sure.
So that's an event. So yeah, I'll sit in a row and watch that. Yeah, but I don't think it'll be like seeing the Beatles at the rooftop. You know, those are the type of shows that are just stick with you for the rest of your life. When it feels intimate, when it feels personal. Ty Segall at a record store, you know, when I was a kid, you know, like that's huge to me.
How many times have you seen Ty Segall?
More than I can count.
Ballpark. 30?
More.
40.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't say more. Yeah, I definitely over 20 times.
Is there a time that sticks out to you the most? Like that's like, whoa, that fucking blew my face off.
Yeah, the impact that Sleeper had on me when it came out.
Oh my gosh.
And then seeing him with Tim Presley's brother. I'm blanking on his name. And like that's when Charlie was first starting to like play drums with Ty. So it's like before Fuzz.
Charles Moonheart.
And so he had great touch. But he would fumble a little bit, but it made it all the more exciting because it was Ty was in this red suit and he was a rock star. He was golden hair, red suit with flowers on it. And was just this force to be reckoned with, rock and roll wise, and was going up there for the first time with an acoustic guitar with a touchy band and singing about like his sister. And it was just like, for me as a songwriter, just mind blowing, because Ty had gotten me into, you know, through Slaughterhouse, that opened up like Nervous Breakdown, Black Flag, doom metal. Like through Ty, I found a lot of music, and he talks about music a lot. So if you're like into Ty, you listen to him talk, you listen to interviews, and he names like 20 records you've never heard, and then all of a sudden you have your new favorite record. Like the dude's an encyclopedia of knowledge, which is why he's a great producer too, because he speaks the language fluently. This is the language of rock music fluently. But anyway, he gets on this stage, and I am so stoned. And this is back when I used to smoke and get really bad anxiety. And luckily that's leveled out. But at the time I smoked, and I remember like the room, like breathing, like it was like a drug for me that night. I remember like having to go to the bathroom at the show, but needing my friend to wait in line with me, like, cause I was like scared kind of. And
kind of like if you're in somebody else's house, you know, and you're kind of brought all the way back around.
Oh, callbacks are the best.
Ralphie. No,
we got to get him to call in right now. But yeah, so that stuck out to me. That Ty Segall show, the Sleeper tour at Eagle Rock Community Center for the Arts Center for, something like that.
Sleeper is an album. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Sleeper is slept on for sure.
It sounds like White Album demos. Oh my God. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Do you have the same appreciation for the OCs?
I respect Wire so much. And that seeing the OCs live is like, should be on every living human's checklist.
Yeah, I've never seen them live ever.
It is unlike anything else you will see live. So I have a lot of respect for the OCs. Songwriting wise, for some reason, my soul fell in love with Ty Segall. Like everything, whatever songwriting influences he had going into whatever he was creating, it was resonating with me on a level where it was just like, I found my favorite artist. Cool. Thanks, universe. Like this dude, like it sounds like the Beatles. It sounds like punk. It sounds like classic rock. It sounds like glam. It sounds like he's doing all of it for me. Like, how could you complain? And then eventually I moved on a little bit and don't feel that like kind of like kid connection where I'm like in the front row like type of thing anymore. But we're getting older, so it's hard to find that these days.
How do you feel about his side projects such as Fuzz and
Love it.
when Ty Segall and White Fence get together?
I mean, don't get me started on Tim Presley.
The first
hair. That's what got me into Ty Segall. That was the first thing I heard.
That's what got me into White Fence.
It changed my life. That album changed my life.
It's
production wise, because it sounded old without being pastiche. It didn't sound revivalist. It sounded new and fresh, but it sounded fucked up and old and like classic. Dude, that is one of the best psychedelic rock records of all time. 60s, 70s, anything. Hair by White Fence and Ty Segall is one of the best psychedelic records of all time.
That's a statement right there.
I just spent like $100 on a White Fence t-shirt. But that person has given so much artwork to the world for free.
Oh, like, wait, are you talking about the new one, the new stuff that just came out, right?
It's too good.
I was thinking it was like somebody's like a tour shirt. No, you're talking about the one that they just get the
faces,
the long sleeve one.
Yeah, which is gonna look pretty hipster, but it's fucking rad. And it's got his artwork all over it. Why would I not be a White Fence poster walking around? I would be honored. Me
and you, we're on a new level. This is a relationship that has spawned that it needed time to breathe before we came together.
But now it exists and it's cosmic. New song On the Nose is out. Got a new single coming. Stars is out December 10th.
Fuck yeah.
I have the records over there. I got in before Adele, baby.
Oh.
Adele was after me in line.
Good.
She had to wait until my pressing.
You say, hey, listen, I'm going to put out my record and then you can explain to your children about the divorce. That's what you said.
Have you heard about this though? That the Adele record has literally made it so that like indie musicians can't make vinyl for until 2023.
I heard that about somebody else as well.
Because they had to order, again, international. They had to order like a million, gazillion, trillion units. And so no secretly Canadian can't like press the next Phoebe Bridgers record. It's like chaos. It's chaos.
Is she with secretly Canadian?
I think so.
This is such like inside baseball shit.
Oh, just if you just move a little bit further down this way and you're in LA, you'll know all of this within a month. It's all here.
I know.
Everybody's here.
I know. The parties to sneak into.
Yeah, exactly.
That needs to be cut down, I feel like, but whatever. I might need to trim it.
Or you do part 1, part 2. Part 1's the story, and part 2's where we talk about the music.
It's at least like 30 minutes long. That's like the. Anyways,
it was great.
I appreciate you. Hey, listen, and I also want to plug this because this is awesome that I looked into months and months and months and months ago, because we've been trying to coordinate this as we said up top. Live at the Grove.
Ooh. Appreciate you saying so.
Fucking fantastic. And
thank you.
There's an album to go along with it. You can see the videotape of it.
Yeah.
And fucking fantastic. That's on YouTube, the videotape of it, but you can also buy it along with the other releases at ryanpollie.bandcamp.com.
Perfect.
That's it, right?
And Live at the Grove, it's cool that you mentioned that, because spoiler, we filmed another one for the new record. So there's going to be a sequel to that called Live at the Creek that has not been announced yet, that you are kind of premiering that knowledge, but it's going to be all of us out near Yosemite playing some of the new songs.
Tight. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I really recommend that people, I mean, obviously go watch a new one, but start chronologically, of course.
Yeah, and if you're into like that whole like watching live, like cool bands playing a cool place like Pink Floyd at Pompeii, or like, I'm not putting myself up there, but it's that kind of vibe, you know, like it's a band playing in the woods.
Cool. No, you're not Pink Floyd, but you know what you are? The Beatles on the Roof. All right? How about that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
5 stars.
Pre-order it,
it's out.
Right? You can pre-order it.
You can already pre-order it. Yeah. Already now.
Okay, so
if it's probably out.
If it's not out by now, go fucking pre-order it. The kid's hungry. He needs to go pay for those Blink-182 tickets, those vegan rainbows or knockoffs, Cobain's.
Yeah, there you go.
And maybe buy another White Fence shirt.
I need to buy 2. Yeah, you're right. So buy my album so I can buy another White Fence shirt.
Well, you need to get the short sleeve one, because I saw there's a short sleeve one.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a bowler shirt. That's not really my vibe. Maybe you could pull it off.
Because I can't. Buy the fucking album, stream the music. Let's get this guy big so everybody won't bother him.
And if you are practiced in law, let us know about the B&E. And, you know, especially the whole bathroom, the beers, maybe that was illegal because, you know, technically that's like transactional. I'm just saying, if I want to take Jacob to court, can I? Please call in. Let me know.
Through the LAPD. That's right. We didn't even fucking get to that. That's next time.
Good.
All right. Okay.
Later.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.